cargo mat because I like keeping things nice and clean in the back of my SUV. And this time of year with things you're moving around, that's awesome. But for those of you that are looking to do some home projects this year, you need a good contour gauge. This is item number V37856. It's from General Tools. It's the General Tools 10-inch contour and shape gauge. It's $15.75. It's on 3 easy payments of $5.25. And here you're seeing some of the great ways how you could use this around your house. So you're going to put in some hardwood flooring this year. Maybe you got some angles or some things that stick out like pipes, like PVC, where it's an older home. Well, how do you cut around that? This will do that. What about going into those door frames and stuff? How do you get the molding right and everything? The contour gauge here will show you how to do that. And it's very simple and very easy to use. What's so great about it is it makes the home projects go easier because you're not guessing how to cut it. You're not cutting it 10 or 15 times. Any of you that have been to the hardware store lately know that the price of lumber and flooring and tile and vinyl and all that stuff you use to redo your homes is a lot more expensive this year. Well, this is the great way to do it. So let me show you how you use this. So this is the gauge here itself. It's 10 inches long. There's actually a ruler on it. There's also 4 magnets on the back. So if you want to clamp this onto your toolbox or wherever else, when you're storing it, you can do that. And these individual pins move up and down. There's 280 of these on here. So to reset it, all you simply do is push it down. Then you want to be able to read the word general. So I'm looking at the word general and I'm going to put down some basically vinyl flooring is what I want to do here. So this would be my floor. This would be my wall. Well, I have a pipe sticking out here we simulated. And we also have some decorative trim that may run down the side of the door frame or a walkway, something like that. Well, to make this cut, this one might not be too hard, but this one's very intricate. So all I simply do is I take my contour gauge like this and watch. I push this in. And as I push it in, it contours to this shape. So now all I have to do is take this over and trace this one here as well, to whatever I'm working on. So in this case, I took it over to the linoleum here. I took my pencil and I traced it out. Now watch. This piece here, you can see, there's where it's cut out. Here's the cuts here as well. So I would take this guy here and now I slide it into place. So the cool thing is that I don't have a big gap. I don't see what's between the molding and the floor below. You don't want to see that. Well, that's how the professional contractors make it look so easy because they have the right tools to do that. Now, having that 10-inch ruler on there also helps me to figure out, okay, I got to get this exactly right. So the next piece I'm going to cut is going to butt up against this piece so I don't have a gap there as well. Now, I slid it up against here. I'm going to take this guy and I'm going to push it in here. And again, that's all you need to do is push it into place and it maps out what you're going to do. So it creates that shape where I can trace that with the pencil. So all I did was trace it to the pencil to this piece of linoleum floor. There's the one piece. There's the piece of trim here. And watch. I'll slide this guy in here and notice there's no gap here. There's no gaps in here. So everything fits nice and secure. So I didn't have to make 10 cuts, 5 cuts. I didn't have to go back and forth. My dad always said, measure twice, cut once. In this case, when you have the right tool and the General Tools contour and shape gauge is the way to do it. Here's some awesome examples. Look at the one there up there in the top where you're measuring from the brick fireplace down around the corner. So if you got to cut a piece of hardwood or that new planking flooring that they have, the vinyl flooring, how do you get that cut right? Well, here's how you do it. The next one you see with the PVC pipes running down the wall, sometimes they have things that are exposed or that stick out. Well, there's no guessing with the contour gauge. You press this up against whatever you want it to conform to, and it does. It's great for when you're doing projects. I mean, if you have a stone fireplace and you're putting in hardwood and you're butting it up right to it, those stones are going to stick out. So they're going to make shapes. So the cool thing is it doesn't matter what shape it is. So I'll put a block and a piece of PVC out here just to show you. And again, I'm going to reset this by just basically all you do is press it down. I want to be able to read the word general so I can read it when I'm doing this. So all I do is press this down and watch. Now this conforms to the shape of those two pieces so that I can cut around them. So I can trace it onto the surface I need to cut, go ahead and cut it out, and it's done right the first time. So this is really a popular tool because it makes the jobs go so well. It's also a customer top rated. So if you look on your graphic there on your screen where you see those 4.5 stars, that means a lot of you have taken the time to write in on QVC.com and tell us what you think of this. A lot of people in the last 2 years have done a lot of home projects. Why? Because you could save yourself a lot of money. But when you have the right tools, it makes the job go easier. Now, this thing's made out of a heavy duty ABS plastic on here, and these individual pins are rigid pins, but they're not so rigid that they don't move or conform to the shape. So you can see as you press it in against the wall there, it conforms to the shape. Those PVC pipes, that's perfect. That's exactly the cut that you need. So it works great for your indoor projects, for your outdoor projects. Are you looking for something on a gift list for someone who's handy? Maybe that's someone that refinishes floors. Maybe that's someone's an installer. Well, this would be perfect, especially if they're starting out in the trade, to get them the right tools. For me, I use it all the time around the house because we're always fixing things. And oh, how am I going to cut that angle? Oh, wait a second. I have my general tools contour gauge. So it makes the job go so much easier when you have the right thing. And just to show you, I'll just press it down on here, and it doesn't matter what shapes or what sizes. So it conforms to the shape and size, whatever it is. It can be big, it can be small. It could be a corner piece on something where you're trying to cut around the corner. So you can see as I press down, it creates that corner where I would need to cut this. So makes the job go easier, makes your projects go so much easier, and really takes the frustration out of doing things. So, when you're putting in a countertop and something like that, maybe you have to cut something out of the back, you have to notch something somewhere. Well, countertops are expensive. You don't want to make a wrong cut on something like that. So get yourself a contour gauge, press it up against the surface like we showed you here, mark it off, then cut it out correctly the first time. So this is really a great tool. We use it a lot. It really saves a lot of time because you know what? If I did want to cut around these things, yes, I could probably guess on this piece here. This piece here, well, I could cut the straight line, but then how am I going to notch it? Here, three different places. Well, right there's three different chances to make three mistakes. One mistake, not going to look so good. You want your projects to look good. So again, just showing you how easy it is. You want to make sure that you can read the word general. So to reset it, press this in here, okay? These pins are 3 inches long. They recess back to 1.25 inches. So it gives you plenty of depth when you're doing that project. So press this on here, slide this in there. Let's see, that it looks exactly what I have to cut. And that's exactly what it is. So again, you would take this down, put it on the surface you're going to cut. Now I'm just showing you on regular linoleum flooring here, but this could be tile, this could be hardwood, could be travertine, could be all the things you use to decorate around your house. So just makes the job go easier when you have the right tools. So again, this one's item number 37856, the General Tools 10-inch contour and shape gauge. It's $15.75 on 3 easy payments of $525. Coming up next is my good friend Denise Repko, and I'll bet she's got something from Tommy Copper that's going to help you all out.
You are just so smart, Mr. Pickford, and I'm going to invite you and Lori over, and you're so good at that. I have so many projects I would love for you to tackle for me.
I can help you out there.